When you think of fragrances, teenagers probably don't come to mind, but the teenage market is growing in the fragrance industry. I remember I didn't have many options for fragrance when I was a teenager. I also didn't have much interest in fragrance when I was a teenager. I had a single tiny bottle of some sort of Justin Bieber fragrance, which I didn't really use, so I now know much more about the fragrance world. And I also know which fragrances would be really good for teenagers, especially young teenage women. And I have a small list, starting with, I think, universally loved fragrance, which is La Villa Belle by Lancôme. So this is used and popular among adult women and teenagers. The reason is, this is a super feminine fragrance, and it's not really too heavy or too much of anything. It's actually very bubbly, playful, light, just a very pleasant fragrance. It mainly has some fruity notes like black currant, some floral notes, and then this very interesting praline note, which makes it very kind of like dessert-esque, kind of caramely, sugary sort of thing. The great thing actually about this in particular is that it's very long-lasting. They somehow managed to formulate this in a way that allows the fragrance to last a good 8 hours. Some people, it would easily last longer. And this is also good because it's just nice for general daytime outings, casual occasions, just, anytime during the day. This is going to be a good choice. Like I said, a playful, sort of innocent fragrance. Very, very, very agreeable and very just feminine and nice. You can't really go wrong with it. I haven't come across anyone who actively dislikes La Villa Belle. Then, for something a little more springtime-esque, you could go for Versace Bright Crystal. So this is lighter than La Villa Belle, not as sugary dessert sweet. This is more natural fruity sweet. You could get an idea of the notes, which is mainly pomegranate, yuzu, some florals including peony, magnolia, lotus flower, that sort of thing. Not much of a musk note, even though musk is included. It's very light. It's not like super heavy, sultry musk or anything. This is primarily a very just light, bright sort of bright crystal, as the name is told. But the main downside with this is that it's not very long lasting. It's mainly probably a 5 to 6 hour fragrance. But if you want something just to use while you go to school or you're just walking around out and about, very, very pleasant fragrance. It's similar to La Villa Belle. You can't go wrong with it because all the notes in it are very, very agreeable, very just sweet and light and pleasant, and there's no weird notes thrown in there. It's all very smoothed out, very nice. Then, if you want something a bit more interesting, more unique, or more classic, this is a good option. This is Les Monts by Coty. This is a very old fragrance from 27. And the thing about this is that it's very, very similar to Chanel No. 5, which of course is the #1 fragrance in the world, and has always been. This is slightly different in the fact that it's lighter, and it also doesn't have Chanel No. 5's characteristic civet note. And the civet note, I would argue, is Chanel's most controversial note, mainly because some people can't stand it. It's a very, very musky, almost skanky sort of note. And I personally am not a big fan of the civet note. But this pretty much has all the notes that Chanel No. 5 has, except for that civet. So you got the aldehydes, the florals, some of the wood notes like sandalwood. Very pleasant. The downside is that it doesn't last as long, probably 5 hours. But again, if you're just wearing this as a nice, playful daytime fragrance, great choice because it is a very unique, definitely different from many other fragrances that you would come across these days. It has a nice classic vibe, and it's also very affordable, especially compared to Chanel No. 5. I think this is about $14 to $20, so you know, if you don't want to spend $90 and you want something similar, then you can try that. The next one on this list is Versace Yellow Diamond. This is more of a summery perfume, mainly because it's full of crisp, fruity notes and citrus. Specifically, pear sorbet, bergamot, citron, and then some florals like freesia, neroli, and things like that. There's also some amberwood and musk, but as with Bright Crystal, the musk is pretty much non-existent. It's mainly overshadowed by the fruit notes and the crisp pear and that sort of thing. This is probably about 5 hours as well, not super, you know, not a bomb or anything, but definitely just a good casual choice, especially good to freshen up because of those nice and crisp light notes. So if it's hot outside, you want something nice and light, Yellow Diamond is a very, very good option. And the next one, or the last one that I have, is another kind of classic choice, which is Red Door. Some people think, oh, we should shun Red Door, it's from the 90s, we don't need it anymore, but I would argue Red Door is a very, almost the perfect floral fragrance because, first of all, it has a huge list of florals in it. It also has a very unique honey note. It has, I believe, some white musk, but it's pretty much too light to be noticed. So you're really going to get this very light, powdery floral fragrance, which is surprisingly long-lasting, probably around 7 hours. And it's just a classic feminine staple. You can't really go wrong with it. There's no weird notes in there that will make anyone's noses scrunch up. So just a very agreeable, accessible sort of fragrance. So that's pretty much all I have to say about fragrances for teenagers. If you have any opinions about these fragrances, you can leave your comments in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.